We've not insured done by 70.8%, but if not done, but it's not, that's the most important thing to do, to have people build. And that's the purpose that you so. Warren Buffett, the renowned investor and chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, celebrated his 93rd birthday on August 30th. Throughout his lengthy career, he has adhered steadfastly to a value investing strategy that bears some resemblance to the buy and hold approach often associated with cryptocurrencies. However, Buffett's focus is on assets with strong earnings potential and investing in companies and sectors where he and his team possess a deep understanding of the associated risks, competition, and advantages. And the question is whether such a laser-eyed strategy can outperform Bitcoin in the long run. Moreover, investors should question why one of the greatest stock pickers of all time currently holds cash and short-term bonds as the second largest position in his portfolio. An interesting example of this approach is Berkshire Hathaway's largest holding, Apple shares. The company initially acquired these shares in early 2016 when the company was already valued at over $500 billion, so they were far from being early investors. Notably, Berkshire Hathaway continued to add to its AAPL investment in 2022, even though the stock had rallied over 500% since the initial purchase. This illustrates Buffett's commitment to long-term investment strategies, regardless of recent price movements. In a February 2012 shareholder letter, Berkshire Hathaway expressed concerns about the devaluation of paper currency and discussed the limitations of gold as a store of value. They argued that gold lacks practical utility, with demand for industrial and jewelry purposes falling short of production. And its price is largely driven by fear-driven sentiment, which leads to only in temporary price increases. In contrast, investments in productive companies generate substantial dividends and returns. Berkshire Hathaway also noted that regardless of whether the future currency is based on gold, seashells, or paper, people will always be willing to exchange a portion of their income for goods and services. And regrettably for Buffett, Bitcoin's price surged by 683% in the 12 months following his critical comments on the viability of non-productive commodities as a store of value. Moreover, on a 4-year horizon, Bitcoin's gains amounted to a staggering 9,014%. Safest possible, their stock's point of agency to resonate these bases. The first step of global government of educators' rashes or Bitcoin, we calculated Berkshire Hathaway's stock performance using a factor of 3 to simulate a leveraged position. If an individual had invested $1,000 in Bitcoin and initiated a leveraged long position in Berkshire Hathaway shares in early 2019, they would have observed a return of $7,020 in BTC compared to $5,623 in Buffett's holding company. And similarly, for an investment starting in 2017, it would have resulted in $3,798 in BTC as opposed to $1,998 using the leveraged long strategy in Berkshire Hathaway shares. It's important to note a potential loophole in Buffett's investment thesis. Berkshire Hathaway is currently maintaining a record high $147 billion in cash equivalents and short-term investments, representing 18.5% of the company's total market capitalization. This raises questions about whether they are waiting for better entry points into selected stocks or if they deem the 5.25% returns on fixed income investments to be satisfactory. And this scenario highlights that even the most accomplished stock market investor may have reservations about deploying their cash. It also prompts questions about whether some of the funds currently on the sidelines, including the $5.6 billion in money market funds, might seek alternative forms of protection if inflation makes a resurgence. Bitcoin may not be a perfect store of value, and its volatility has been a subject of concern. However, it's essential to acknowledge that Bitcoin is yet to face the global economic recession, making it premature to pass definitive judgment. Additionally, The consistent outperformance of Bitcoin's price compared to Berkshire Hathaway shares suggests that investors are increasingly viewing it as a viable alternative store of value. In light of this, Berkshire Hathaway's substantial cash position serves as a potential cautionary note for those skeptical about Bitcoin. With Bitcoin market's total capitalization currently standing at $500 billion, it signals a significant and untapped potential for it to play in the financial landscape.